Good evening, ladies. So as you know, the website A Woman's Heart has a blog, and in the blog there are different conversations. And my conversation is "You are not alone." Um, I've been through a lot in my lifespan from 1989 into this present moment. So I figured I would share some of my story to let you know truly that you are not alone. You are not the only woman who has experienced detrimental things in your life, have your heart broken, have things taken from you, feel like you've been used, feel like you wasn't worthy, just down in yourself and being hard on yourself. So you're not alone. You're really not. We all have stories and they all cross in some kind of way, whether we realize it or not. It just happens to us in different stages of our life, but we do have some similarities in our stories. The only difference is we handle things differently, and that's just pretty much the difference of us. In our stories, we just handle things differently. So I'm going to do a little snippet of my story. So in 1989, October 29th, my father was murdered in the front yard that I grew up in, by my neighbor's boyfriend, the neighbor whom I helped get the apartment that she lived in. My dad went next door to tell her that her son was ditching school, and he was a man who always watched the children in the neighborhood. And they had words because he thought him, her, and my father was having an affair, and they were not. And so he shot him and killed him. But she was actually having an affair with her landlord. And then when I tried to find out what was going on, she refused to talk to me and share. So that was very hurtful to me. Even though I had a dream about my father before he was murdered, he was in a white shirt and the shirt was really bloody. And I told my mom, I said I had this horrible dream that Daddy's shirt was just full of blood. And she was like, oh, it's just a dream. But that dream actually became reality. So in 1991, in August, I had a son who was born prematurely. 1 pound and 6 ounces he weighed. But he lived 3 years. So 3 years, 91, 92, 93. September the 10th, he was deceased. That almost took me out. It really did. I think I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I also felt like I lost myself. My mental state was in turmoil. That was one thing I could not handle. I lost my father, yeah, but my son, somebody who I carried, he was a part of me, somebody I loved, that was really hard to get past. It really was. And then the next phase in my life that was detrimental was the death of my mother, who died in the house that I grew up in from pancreatic cancer. So you're not alone. You're really not. Life deals us different things. They come from all angles, from all areas, and it takes a toll on you at times. It takes something from you, and sometimes talking to somebody helps, but you need to find somebody when you're talking to them that they will know how to listen. And when my son passed, people would say things like, you're a Christian and, you should be over this. But how do you get over a death of anybody, a father, a mother, and especially a child? It's hard to deal with. It's hard to explain. The emotions with the death of a child is unexplainable. They come up when, unexpectedly. You can see some on TV, somebody's birthday, prom, wedding. It brings up all kinds of emotions. So I had to pray really hard to get past some things with my son. But my son had to be removed in order for me to take care of my mom, because mentally I was not equipped to take care of my mom and my son. So it got better, and still progressing forward. Some years are better than others. So I'm just sharing these stories, not trying to make the video long. And I probably will make other videos because there's other things that transpired in my life that I want to share. And just stand in it. If you got to cry it out, if you got to scream it out, you got to keep talking until you feel better. And I know the death of your loved ones take you to a place that's your emotions. You get into a dark place, depression creeps in. You don't want to do nothing. Nothing nobody says make a difference. You have to literally fight your way back to yourself. And it's a serious fight. It's a tug of war daily. So I'm just saying, be encouraged. Make sure you have people around you that will be supportive and encouraging, that know how to listen, that will understand where you are at. And don't let nobody tell you that you should be over anything, because we all process things differently. We all take in things differently. No two people receive or deal with tragic things in the same manner. So love yourself enough to get back to yourself. And sometime blogging, writing it down, talking, do a video to yourself. If you're angry, acknowledge that you're angry. If you're sad, acknowledge that you're sad. You have to feel those feelings, and you have to talk those feelings out until you feel better. And whatever it takes to get you back to your sanity, that's what you have to do. But please know that your story is not the only story. We all have stories like yours. And you, my sister, my friend, you are not alone. Know that you are not alone. Believe it. It gets better.